I belong to you.
I just want to welcome everyone that's here. I am very excited about this class, and I hope you guys get as much as I know I'll get out of it. I'm Jennifer Watson. I am the business development rep in the Memorial Green office. And we also have Susan Clark here, and she's in the Upper Kirby office. And we have Dana Sarah Nathan. She's in the Sugarland office, which some of you guys know. For those of you who haven't used Old Republic Title, we would love for you guys to give us an opportunity. In addition to classes like these and CE classes, we also offer business planning and whatever else you guys have a need for in helping you out with your business. I also, in addition, would like to introduce BWC Lending. We have Chris Kayworth, and she's going to present for us today. She is amazing. And with Chris, we have Corey Turner, who is a loan officer, as well as Chad Helmkamp. He's their senior loan officer. So I will let you guys step in for a moment if there's anything you need to say. Chad or Corey, before we get started. Oh, muted.
Corey's trying to figure out how to unmute.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you for being with us. I can tell you that I've worked alongside Chris for about 5 months now, and she has taught me everything that I know about social media up until this point. She is amazing at what she's doing. If you all are not following BWC Lending on social media, or even Corey Mortgage on social media, I think that you should give us a follow, because there's a lot of good information that we're putting out there, and we're really excited to talk to you all about social media today. Chris is the expert, so I will, turn it over to her, and we're excited to be here.
Awesome.
Excellent. I'll chime in for just a second. My name is Chad Helmkamp, and I work with Corey and Chris both. And I'll echo what Corey said. Chris joined us last year. I didn't hire her to do social media, but she sort of just took it over, and she was like, "Hey, our social media really stinks. Do you mind if I work on it?" And I'm like, "Knock yourself out." And so I happen to be of an age group that, it's not really my thing. So she has really blown up our social media. Now, all of the time when I'm out and about, I always have people talking to me about it. So she'll talk a little bit about a lot of things today. Hopefully you'll find it helpful. And of course, she'll be here if you've got other questions. There is a chat room. If you guys, I don't know, see the chat feature on your side, but we'll post comments in there as we go through things. And if anybody has questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Thanks so much, Jennifer. Oh, and I'll echo this. So Old Republic Title, best title company in the city, hands down. I've worked with them for many, many years. And if you're not working with them, you should be. So I can certainly say that. Two of the young ladies on this call, Jennifer and Susan, I actually went to high school with at one point in time a few years ago. So we have a lot of history together. So you're working with some great people.
Alrighty, well, Chad is making me the host, so I can share my screen. I just want to say hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We are super excited to work with Old Republic Title. I'd like to echo what Chad says. I have not been in the mortgage business very long, but I will say that Old Republic Title are one of my favorite people to work with. They're absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend them. So let me see here. Okay. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Yes? Okay, sweet.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Social Media Marketing, tips and tricks on how to build your brand on social media. First of all, I just kind of want to go over what we're going to talk about today, because that's a little important. I'm going to introduce myself, kind of reiterate what Chad and Corey were saying. Next, we're going to talk about what is a brand and why should you use social media, why is it important, what social media platforms are available to you and can you use, how do you get started, and then we'll answer some questions. First and foremost, I am Chris Kayworth. I joined BWC Lending in May of 2021. I just recently graduated from the University of Houston in May of 2021. Technically, my background is not in, right? 2021 or 2020?
What?
Wait, what? Okay, never mind. But my bachelor's degree is in finance with a minor in management information systems and a focus in financial planning. Obviously, I didn't really go the whole financial planning route, but ended up in an awesome business, which is real estate. And marketing has just kind of always been one of those passions of mine. It's just a great way to meet people, build relationships, and I really just express myself creatively through Canva. It is absolutely one of my best friends. So hopefully we'll get to talk more about it today. Alrighty, so first thing I want to talk about is I kind of want to do a little exercise. Does anybody have an iPhone here? Anybody? I know Corey and Chad do. Dana, got it. Okay. Well, something I'd like to kind of do, just to maybe look at some stats, sort of, is if you go to your settings, and in your settings, if you scroll down over here, you scroll down right here, it says under focus, it says screen time. And if you click screen time, it'll take you to a page that kind of shows you what you average daily on, where you spend your time on your phone. On this page, under the minutes portion, it says see all activity. And when you click on that, it shows you specifically where you're spending your time on your phone every day. And for me, I spend pretty much all of my time on Instagram. Obviously, I hope nobody is judging how much time I spend on Instagram. It's a little embarrassing. But it shows you, like what apps you've been using and everything. Does anybody have a social media app? Is their number one app that they use on their phone? Anybody? Corey does. Dana does. Chad, what about you? Do you?
Not today, but typically yes.
Typically, yes. Alrighty, well, that's kind of just something I wanted to show you. Basically, I think 4 out of the 5 people that participated said that social media is one of the top apps that they use on their phone. And if that is not an indicator as to why we should be using social media in order to grow our business more, I'd like to talk more about, how and why should we use social media to drive our business. First and foremost, it helps you build relationships. If people are comfortable with what you do, who you are, and what you represent, it's more likely that they will, choose you to do business with. Secondly, you increase your brand awareness. You're putting a presence out onto the digital world, which is where most people spend their time. And so, if I am a consumer out there and I don't really have a need for a mortgage right now, but maybe in a year or so, I follow BWC and they've set a presence on my feed every day. Every day I see the tips and tricks that they post. Every day I see their photos, their reels, everything. Hopefully in the future, I have their brand awareness in my mind so that when I think, oh, I need a mortgage, the first person I think of is BWC Lending. Right when they show up, they're there every day on my feed. And that's 100% what helps you drive your business in this digital world nowadays. So another big thing is social media helps you increase traffic to wherever you're looking for somebody to be, which is, for us, we always try to drive our consumers right back to our application link to get them started on that loan application. For you, maybe it's into your DMs. You're trying to build that relationship with somebody so that when they're looking for a house, they always call you. So those are 3 big reasons on why social media helps you drive your business. 1, helps you build relationships with prospects. 2, it helps you set a presence on social media so that somebody's always thinking of you when they have a service or a need. And 3, it helps you drive people to your website, to your DMs, wherever you're looking to be. All right, so let's kind of talk about what is a brand. I kind of just mentioned that. Your brand is going to be who you are digitally. It's going to be the colors you represent, the business you represent, the kind of target audience that you're looking for. It's an opportunity for you to highlight your strengths and your passions and help people get to know you better. it's all about, your brand pillars. For us, that's a big thing. One of our brand pillars is education. We're always posting content out there, sharing mortgage tips and tricks, informing people about what a mortgage is, what it all entails. We also like to post everything about, industry news and help people get to know us. That's a part of our brand. Another big thing is, as you can see in our presentation, our brand colors. It all coordinates around, white, gray, blue, navy blue, things like that. And those all represent who you are, but on a digital platform. So that when somebody, goes to Instagram and they look up Jennifer Watson, they know exactly who you are by just looking at your Instagram profile. So next thing I kind of want to talk about is social media platforms. We all know there are so many social media platforms out there that you could be on right now. Here are just, kind of some main ones that I want to talk about. Facebook, the first one, it's kind of like the biggest, honestly, when it comes to social media. And that's just because Facebook basically has everything. If you have a Facebook business page, you basically have your Google business page there. It has a Google Maps of where you are, your hours, reviews, events. It has all of your latest content. It has your call to actions. Facebook has everything for you. They have reels, you can shop on there, everything. And one of the really big things that I love about Facebook is that if you have a Facebook business profile, it gives you access to a Facebook business suite where you can schedule all your content in advance for free. And so that's one of the biggest things that I love about Facebook, and it applies also to Instagram and to Facebook. Next thing that I kind of want to talk about is Twitter. It is an effective marketing tool, but it's mainly used to generate discussion. And normally the content on there has a very short lifetime. So if you're looking to generate a lot of conversation on Twitter, then I highly recommend using it. Instagram is predominantly a visual social media tool. So it's all about interesting videos, high resolution pictures, all those kinds of things. But what I will say about Instagram is that it has the highest engagement rates out there across all social media platforms. So that means people are commenting, sharing, liking, saving on Instagram more than any other social media platform. LinkedIn, even if you're not posting on LinkedIn, you're not active on LinkedIn, I highly recommend having LinkedIn. This is just where you can connect with people in your industry, see what they're doing, what they're up to, get some insights on what you can do to improve yourself. And I also feel like if I was to look up anybody and I couldn't find them on Instagram, the next place I would go to would be LinkedIn. Pinterest is kind of like a mix between a wish list and a vision board kind of put together. You can save things, and it's really good. And Pinterest is voted one of the top social media platforms when people are researching a buying decision. I know for me that whenever I am oh my gosh, I have to go on a date, what am I going to wear? First place I go is Pinterest. Whenever I'm looking to research something, Pinterest is the first place to go. I think it's more often I go there than I Google things, which is kind of crazy, I would think. But yeah. Next thing is YouTube. YouTube is one of the largest video sharing platforms around. It's an excellent platform to market on if you know what you want to say, what you want to do. And I honestly, my biggest tip for YouTube is just go out there and do it. Just post some content out there, and it's a great way to market. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, and TikTok, my favorite. I think my top app for this week is TikTok. I am in love with TikTok. It's way too addicting just to keep scrolling through all the videos. Does anybody use these platforms right now to market their business? Anybody?
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. Anybody? Just Corey. Corey is also social media guru. Don't let him tell you otherwise. Alrighty, so big question, right? If you're not on social media now, or you're not trying to drive any business on social media right now, where do you start? So first things first is determine your brand goals. What are you looking to achieve on social media? The first thing is awareness, right? So grow your followers by sharing content. Like I said before, you want to set a presence in this digital world so that when anybody is looking for a realtor, they're looking for a title company, they're looking for a mortgage lender, you've set that presence up front and you are the first person that they think of when they're like, oh, I need a title company. Bam, Old Republic Title. I see their post every single day and they provide me with value. The next thing is engagement. You want to engage with your followers. What can you do every day to not only put content out there, but have people remember you, whether that's DMing them, commenting, sharing their post, whatever that looks like. Next thing is conversion. You're posting all this content out there, you're engaging with people, but what can you do to convert your followers into prospects, into clients? So one of the best ways in order to convert your followers into prospects is your call to action. And that should be a constant message throughout all of your content. For us, that is click our link in bio. That's always our call to action. Click the link in bio and apply today. Consumers, thinking about your consumer, how can you provide value to your followers? What can you post that will give them, insight or help them remember you? Or is this something worth saving for later? Once you become that trusted resource to your followers, then you are always the first person they think of when they have a service or a need. Alrighty, pick your platform. Like I just mentioned, I think I just mentioned like 8 platforms that you could possibly be on. But honestly, it's incredibly hard to have a full-time job and market on social media at the same time. And so what I highly recommend is, picking 1 or picking 2 and focus on those primarily. That is going to be your best bet, and make sure that the platforms that you choose are, where your target audience is at. And your target audience is going to be based on age, gender, location, occupation, income, things like that. So for us, for BWC, our main platforms that we use are Instagram and Facebook. We dabble in all the other things, but those are the platforms that we focus primarily on and the place that we try to drive business the most. So research where your audience is, and then choose the platforms that work the best for you. Okay, next thing is, after you've come up with your goals that you're looking to achieve on social media, you've picked the platforms that you want to be on, determine what works best for you. And what I always like to say is the 3 C's of social media: commitment, consistency, and content. So some people get so excited about social media, they're going to post every single day, and then they do post every day for a week and they're burnt out, right? That was a lot of work to create all the content, make up all the ideas, put it all out there. It can be a lot. And so what I say is just commit to what you can do without burning out. If you can only post once a week, and that's maybe every Monday at 5 p.m., then commit to that and stick with that. Especially when we're talking about Instagram, the algorithm is always looking for consistency when it comes to posting your content. And that's also what your followers are looking for. The more consistent you are, the more the Instagram algorithm will share your content with unique viewers. Next is content, right? You don't want to be, if your niche is real estate and you primarily are on the seller side, you have a lot of listings and you post about, this and you post about that, and none of it is really related to your business or to what you're really trying to push out there. You can confuse your followers and your borrowers, and on top of that, you confuse the Instagram algorithm, and therefore it's less likely to share your content. So stay consistent with your content and stay consistent with your brand. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I have a question. It has to do with the consistency. So I thought that maybe on Facebook, we wanted it not to always talk about real estate, but have a personal side as well.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, all of a sudden someone's at my door and my dog is going crazy, so I apologize.
No worries, no worries.
So should we only be focused on real estate, or should we have that human side? And if so, what sort of ratio am I looking at?
Yeah. What I always recommend is 80% business, 20% personal. So for us, most of our posts are going to be, like I said, tips and tricks for mortgages, mortgage terms, what are down payments, things like that. And then that other 20% is going to be like, who are we? What do we do? Things that we've recently achieved, events that we're going to. And if your brand is, for us, that's kind of just like a team aspect. But for you, if you're an individual, trying to drive business for only yourself, then yeah, 20% of maybe it's a picture of your dog, or maybe it's what you did this weekend, something like that. But that other 80% should be related back to your business. That way they always remember that it's not just about your dog, or it's not just about the hike that you took this weekend. It's I'm here to help you with all your real estate needs. Does that help?
That was perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay, awesome. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they'd like to share? No? Okay. All right. So next thing I want to talk about, and I do get kind of geeky with this, so if I talk too fast or you don't understand, please let me know, is to monitor your social media. You just went through this whole thing. You determined all these goals that you want to achieve. You picked your platforms. You made all this content. You're ready to go. You posted it all. But what happens when you don't get engagement and you don't get followers and it doesn't drive any business? And basically, you don't want to waste your time or your money or all this effort on making this content that isn't helping your business. But the real question is how do you determine that? And so this, I think, is one of the most important steps, is to monitor your social media. Social media is all trial and error. For the last couple months on BWC's Instagram, I was posting these kind of like tweet posts that kind of look like a Twitter post, and I was posting them out there, and they basically got no engagement, no likes, comments, saves, shares. And when you think about it, if I'm posting, 5 to 10 a month, if they take me 10 to 15 minutes each, that can be a significant amount of time if I'm only working 40 hours a week and I have a full-time job to do on top of it. And so the way that I determined, it's not getting any engagement is this here. On the left side is BWC's business page on Instagram. And as you can see right here under edit profile, add tools, insights, and contact, add shot, that kind of section, right there it says insights. And this is where you can tell all of your insights and if what's working and what's not working. And so if you go there, you click insights, it'll pop up. These are the insights for 1 week, and it tells you how many accounts you've reached, accounts you've engaged with, your total followers. It tells you all of that, and it even shows you all of the content that you've posted over the entire week, whether that's reels, posts, stories, videos, live, anything like that. And what I will say is it's really nice that you can change the timeline on there. If you want to see the last 2 weeks, the last 30 days, the last month, whatever that looks like, it'll show you everything, which is incredibly important data, especially if you're taking all of this time out of your day to create all this. Another thing that I like to do that isn't in this video is if you do go to the individual post, you can see those individual insights for that one specific post. It shows you who liked it, who shared it, who commented, how many saves it got. And I think that's extremely valuable. And so for us right now, especially on Instagram, our reels are always the one that gets the most likes, shares, and saves. And the only way that you can determine that is by looking at those insights. And I will say this, in order to see the insights for your Instagram and for your Facebook page, it does need to be a business page. And that also gives you the ability to schedule all of your posts ahead of time. Does anybody have any questions on insights?
I have a question again.
Yeah, okay.
You had spoken about the algorithm and the algorithms affecting how often your posts get reviewed. So if I'm looking at insights, could this be affected by the algorithm or something else that I'm doing where my post isn't getting viewed? And not because of the content, but because of its presence or availability?
Yeah. So the algorithm obviously has a very big effect on the insights that you'll see in here. And the way that, basically to simplify it all, is the algorithm is all based on engagement. So what happens when you post something on Instagram is that Instagram will take that post and it will show it to a small percentage of the people that follow you right now. So let's say you have 1,000 followers, it'll show it to, a random selected group of about 100. And if that post gets 90 likes from that 100 people, Instagram will say this small group found this post to be valuable, so then it'll share it with another percentage of those followers, and if those engage with your post, then it'll share it with another, if that makes sense. So basically, yes, your insights will be affected by the algorithm, but what I will say is that if you post something one time and it doesn't get really good insights, stick it out. I stuck with the tweet post, like I said, for probably 3 months before I determined that it wasn't working. And if you're posting it consistently and you're getting no engagement on it after 3 or 4 months, then I think it's time to retire that and maybe try something new, change it up a little. Does that help?
Again, perfect. Yes.
Okay, good. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything they'd like to share? No? Okay.
I do have a question, but it's not related to insights, and I just posted on the chat, and my apologies if I'm going ahead. Should I wait?
No worries. Go ahead. Ask away.
Okay. So on the story highlights, how do you add to the story highlights without creating a new highlight?
Yeah. I wish I could share my phone screen here. Basically, if you could see, you go to your Instagram, you click on the highlight that you want to add the post to, and at the bottom it says more, and when you click more, it says edit highlight right there, and it'll have 2 sections up here. It says selected and stories. If you click on stories, you can go ahead and go through every single story that you've ever posted and add those stories to the highlight.
Thank you. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I have been dying. Like, how does this work? Thank you so much.
Of course. Alrighty. Well, that was a lot of information. So let's recap a little. Where do you start? Step number 1, choose what goals you're optimizing for. Keep in mind those 4 areas: awareness, engagement, conversion, and your consumer. Next is choose your platforms that work best for you. Like I said, I recommend choosing maybe 1 or 2 and sticking with those. And then if you get those down and you feel really comfortable with social media, then I would recommend branching out, but still only having 1 or 2 platforms that you primarily focus on. Next step, determine what works for you and then do it. If you say, I'm going to post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m., then do that. And if you say, I'm going to post 5 days a week and I'm going to schedule it all a month in advance, do it. You can do it. I believe in you. That's my little motivational speech of the day. Monitor your social media. Like I said, your insights are key to determining what is working for you and making sure you're not wasting your time and your money, because we all know, we all work in real estate. We are crazy busy and do not have time to waste. Alrighty. So let's get into the meat of the conversation, content creation. First and foremost, what I'd like to talk about the most, and this is a lifesaver for me when it comes to content creation, and that is your content calendar. I know there are super fancy, softwares out there that you can use and everything, but I like to use just a good old calendar, spreadsheet in Excel. And what I do is I plan out my entire month. So basically, when I'm doing social media, the week before, everything goes out. So all of last week, what I did was I looked at my content calendar and I planned out all of my content across all of my platforms. And then throughout that week, I created all the content, made all the content, and then I scheduled it all. So this calendar is key. I always have it up. It is just such a great visual for, what strategy am I looking to do? What content do I need to create? And then when am I going to schedule it for? Does anybody have a content calendar that they use right now for their social media? I saw a hand. I've been trying to convince Corey to get one too. So if anybody wants to put in the chat, tell them to do it. I would appreciate the backup there.
Chris, we have one.
Oh, okay.
Old Republic designed for realtors, actually.
That's perfect.
So that they can follow a sequence and they can choose what they want, but then they stay consistent. And then it becomes very familiar. So people will know, oh yeah, usually on Fridays, she'll post about open houses. Oh yeah, Mondays is usually her market updates. So they kind of just end up following you organically because they see when the trend is that you're going to post certain things.
I love that. And hopefully we can get a copy of that and send it out after the workshop if you guys would be interested in having that.
Yeah, I can send it to you because I know you have the full list.
Okay, perfect.
Chris, I have another quick question.
Yeah, of course.
So, like how HAR sends out just a quick snapshot,
Mhm.
how do you download that or add, if you want to add that to your Instagram page? How does that work?
You mean like, do you want to share the post to your page as a post or to your story or?
Yeah, so I would like to show it as a post.
Okay, yeah. So what you could always do is you could always go to their Instagram, and then if you I always just screenshot the post. So just screenshot my phone. So that's the plus button and then your power button. I'll go into my camera roll and then crop it so that it's the post only. And then when I post it on my own Instagram, I make sure to tag them in the picture and then also tag them in the caption. Does that help?
I think, okay, say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if you go to their Instagram, you can always just click the plus, click the plus and the power button at the same time. It'll take a screenshot. You can
Okay.
click that screenshot and then crop the photo here. Let me crop
Yes, I know how to do the crop. Got you.
You can crop it down to the post only. And then when you post, you can post this just as a regular post on your Instagram. And
Right.
what I do is just tag them in the photo
Yes.
itself. And then
Okay.
in the caption, also tag them. But that would be a good way to post it. And then if
Okay.
you're looking to just, share it to your story, you would just click the airplane. And then right there, it says add to your story at the top. And then that goes directly to your story. So you could share it like that.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay. Alrighty, so you have your content calendar, when you want to post it, and you kind of have an idea of what you want to post. The next thing is getting content. So I feel like you could do either of these options or both if you want to. The first thing that I like to touch on is buying content. There are hundreds of thousands of resources out there where you can buy pre-made content. And so one of the places that I love so much is is Etsy. Can you guys see Etsy? Yeah? Okay, sweet. They have a ridiculous, this one says 17,000. They have 17,000 templates that you can buy that are all relatively inexpensive, and you can just buy these and automatically download them to your Canva and edit them the way that you like with your brand colors, your picture. If you wanted to change the font or the wording, anything like that, you could download them straight from here, upload them to your Canva, and begin working on them immediately. You can take those and 360 plus posts. That's one post every day of the year, maybe missing a couple of days, but that would be amazing, especially since you don't have to go through the work of just creating everything. And so Etsy is a great resource to use if you're looking for pre-made content. Another place that I highly recommend is called Fiverr. It's FIVVERR, I think, something like that. And if you're looking for a video editor or a graphic design or anything like that, they're all on Fiverr. It's basically a network of freelancers that you can hire to do work for you. And so you could reach out and be like, hey, I'm looking.
We can't hear you. Or is it me?
Oh, can you guys not hear me? Anybody?
No,
I can
we
hear
hear
you.
you. We hear you
I can
fine.
hear you.
Okay. Okay, good. Erica, were you able to, could you still hear me or no? Okay, maybe not. I'll keep going now. Alrighty, so yeah, Etsy and Fiverr, I highly recommend those. I know I get a lot of questions about, somebody's looking for help editing their reels, and they have tons and tons of people on there who can help edit your TikToks, edit your YouTube videos, reels, anything like that. That is a great place to look for if you're looking for somebody to help you create content or edit your content. The next thing I kind of want to talk about, and I feel like I've already been talking about, is creating content yourself. And for all of that, I love to use Canva. They have hundreds of thousands of templates that you can choose from, and they're super duper easy to make all your own. So I use Canva for everything. This presentation was made on Canva. Everything you see on our social media was made in Canva. It's a really great tool. Let me see. So stock photos, if you're looking for anything like that, I like to find a lot of like modern homes and things like that, home decor on there. I use Unsplash or Pixels, and Pixels even has stock videos that you can use that are all free. Photo editing, you can use Lightroom. I normally just use the photo app on my iPhone because it's already there. For video editing, Adobe Premiere Pro. I normally use iMovie because it's just right on my MacBook, and then Capwing is a really great resource to use as well. If you're looking for a video editor just for your phone, I highly recommend VN or CapCut is also a really good one if you're looking for a mobile video editor. Okay, so next thing is, what kind of content can I post? So there are so many things that you could post online as a realtor, just because social media and real estate go hand in hand. They are highly visual areas. And so it's very easy to post when it comes to real estate. So you can post new listings, new properties, success stories, testimonials, milestones that you've hit, home buyer and seller tips, open houses that you have coming up, quotes and motivation, industry news, fun facts, things about yourself, your dog, whatever you're looking to do. Alrighty, so scheduling your content. After you've made your content calendar, you've created all the content that you're wanting to post. I think one of the biggest time savers is scheduling that content ahead of time. Like I said before, for me, what I do is the last week of February, I create and schedule all my content from March. So there isn't a time in March that I go out of my way to post anything. I already have it all scheduled all a month ahead of time. So when you're going to schedule those posts, you'll need to create captivating captions and use hashtags. I highly recommend using hashtags. I've kind of switched up my hashtag strategy nowadays, but Instagram lets you use up to 30 hashtags on every post, and hashtags help direct that content to unique users who are not following you. They help your content get connected with people who are interested in those hashtags. So if I go on Instagram and I'm constantly looking up realtors, I'm looking up mortgage, I'm looking up homes, things like that, and you use those hashtags to connect with me as a unique user on Instagram. And one of the best tools I will say that I use is Hashtag Expert. It's a mobile app that you can use to generate hashtags, and also GrabTag is a great one to use if you're looking for a hashtag generator on desktop. Some tools that I use in order to schedule my posts, that would be Facebook Business Suite. As I said before, it is an awesome free resource that is available to you if you have an Instagram business profile or a Facebook business profile. It's really great. You can schedule stories and post on there for either your Facebook business page or your Instagram page. Some other ones that I recommend are Buffer, Hootsuite, or Later. Those are all paid softwares that you can use to schedule your content, but they're really great. Alrighty, so let's recap a little about what we all just talked about. So first, the content creation would be to open your content calendar, determine your content strategy, and write everything down. That way you'll be really organized and posting everything on your social media platforms. Create or buy your content. Creating content, like I said, through Canva can be really easy, or if you're just looking for pre-made content, Etsy and Fiverr are great places to look. Scheduling your content, you have your strategy, you have what you're going to post. To save time and energy, like I said, I highly recommend scheduling all of your posts ahead of time, and then that way you can focus on, doing your full-time job, and the social media thing just works itself out for a week. Does anybody have any questions about content creation? No? Okay. Well, that's kind of all that I have for today. Does anybody have any, general questions or, any platform-specific questions that they'd like me to answer? No?
No, this is one of the most thorough social media sessions that I've been to, and more so, it's been the most succinct. You get to the answer before we have the question. So it was really, really well done.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the feedback. That's great to hear.
Don't go giving her a big head now.
It's really good, and it was quick and easy. I've been trying to figure out those two specific questions for a minute. I was like, okay, can someone just give me the quick answer? I don't want to hear the whole spiel. So very good.
Well, thank you so much. And we actually have a QR code right here to a survey, and we'd love to hear your full feedback. So if you just want to scan that and give us all your feedback, that would be amazing. That's my phone number and my email address. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out anytime. I'd love to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
And Dana, can I ask you to send me the content calendar again, please?
Yeah, I actually just sent it out.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dana.
Chris, can you share the maybe in an email the piece about scheduling? How do you pre-schedule on Instagram? That part, for some reason, my audio went out and I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I definitely can. And we will be posting more recording of this as well.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Well, I think if nobody has any other questions, that's all we have for today. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And like I said before, if you have any other questions after this, feel free to reach out and we'll definitely be sending you the recording of this workshop.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. And thank you everyone who attended. We greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate Chad and Corey for being there. And it's been a great class. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
I belong to you.
I belong to you.